Hi, my name is Alicia Woolsey, and we are going to take a look today at how I have developed as a leader through the ORGL program at Texas A&M Commerce. The first thing I'm asked to do is to reflect on what kind of leader I was before I joined the ORGL program. When I joined it, I was kind of a lone wolf leader. I believed that I needed to carry all of the responsibility and the tasks on my own, and that somehow if I were to delegate those responsibilities, I was less of a leader and I was less worthy of being followed and less worthy of having the respect of the people I'm supposed to be in charge of. ORGL has really helped me fix that and change my outlook on this. One thing that I suffered from was leadership burnout. I've been in a leadership role at my position for 10 years, and when I'm taking everything on all by myself, then I was really burned out. I was really struggling to keep up with the day-to-day, let alone come up with innovative or creative new ideas. What I learned in issues in organizational leadership was that being a leader is not a finite set of skills. It's not a predetermined whether you can be a good leader or not. That being a leader means that you're adaptable to your circumstances, and it means that you're taking a look at your environment and the people that are working with you and figuring out how to best utilize those in order to meet the goals of the organization. Leaders have to adapt to be successful, and I genuinely believed that being a good leader was something I wasn't going to be capable of because I didn't possess the predetermined skill set. Data-driven decision-making has helped me learn how important data gathering is for complex organizations. The more complex the data, the more complex organizations can make use of this information. For my organization, we're a relatively simple organization, so we thrive on collecting surveys off of social media and just getting feedback from our general customers. But this class gave me a better idea of how to utilize that information and turn it into actionable items for the progress of my company. Behavior ethics and leadership was, to me, the most interesting class that I've taken in this program. This really helped me see how there's a large difference between personal morality and business ethics. If, for whatever reason, I believed that the color green would detrimentally affect my daughter, she would never see a blade of grass again. But I never really considered that I buy a vehicle that doesn't come with every available safety option, that because of the cost of that item, that I'm putting a dollar amount, and so has the manufacturer, of how much our safety is worth in that moment. And it was very interesting for me to sit back and learn how to balance the person aspect of a business against organizational effectiveness and how that organization intends on reaching its goals. Leadership theory really helped me redefine my role as a leader and understand how and why to adapt in my organization. As the first class helped me break down what I believed a leader to be, this helped me rebuild what I want to be as a leader. I have adapted aspects of servant leadership and democratic leadership and try to intertwine those pretty well to meet the needs of my organization. So while I am there to serve my employees and to make sure they have everything that they need to be successful, I'm also actively looking for input on what they want to bring to the table in order to make our business more successful and more involved in the community around us. Leading change really helped me take a look at my business specifically and identify what needs my business has and how to see those in a really objective light, because it's hard to see it when you're enveloped in it. So this gave me strategies on how to identify needs and how to prioritize those identified needs. It also helped me learn strategic implementation for those changes and how to get my employees on board, how to make those changes to where it sees the least resistance and least conflict throughout my organization, and really make it effective for what we need to do in order to meet the goals. Since taking this class, the Leading Change class, we have implemented the SWOT the there. Since taking the leading change class, since taking the leading change class, I have implemented many changes that were initially brought up in the SWOT analysis, some of which I hadn't really even considered before. The first change that we addressed was our pedestrian visibility. There is a Mexican restaurant as well as a ice cream shop on either side of my business. Both of them have really gotten more popular in the last couple of years, and because of our business before these two businesses became popular, we didn't have much pedestrian marketing. When you're walking by my business, you can't tell what kind of business it is. So we have changed our signage. We are much higher visibility. We have worked with a company in Vermont in order to address the issues that the SWOT really helped me find. Another one we changed was that in order to be more visible on campus, since we are in a campus or a college town, then we have started a line of branded merchandise. We hired a graphic designer. We went through and we interviewed everybody to print t-shirts and hats, and we ended up with 2 different contractors that would provide us with both at the most economical price that we could get. We ended up even going with a 3rd different vendor in order to get our employee t-shirts. As of right now, Spot has a much stronger presence, a much stronger chance of having a presence on campus, which is a hard line to walk because we respect Texas A&M Commerce's ideas and values in not having tobacco and alcohol advertised on campus. So it's always been a fine line for us to walk. The capstone classes and the interviews required in the capstone classes really made me look at leadership from a different perspective. So in most of the rest of the classes, I was doing a lot of my projects over my personal business. I am the general manager / owner of a small business here in Commerce. And so it was easy to make a lot of these papers relevant to my business, which is very helpful so that I could see it in a real world application. But the interviews required me to take a look at how these changes in the adaptability of a leader had to be different for each role. I ended up interviewing a no-kill founder and a regional property manager for Chatnik Property Management Solutions. And these are very, very different organizations than the one I run. So it was interesting to listen to their versions of how all these things that I go through and all these things that I have a set way of managing, like conflict resolution and such, and how they do it and how it's different for each environment that you're in. Describing myself as a leader today is much more well-rounded. The number one most important thing I've gotten out of this is to have the confidence to recognize that I can be a successful leader, that being a leader is not about one set of attributes. That being a leader is about being willing to take a look at what your employees in your organization needs and make those changes as they are needed and do what is best for both of them in order to meet the goals of everybody. And that's always kind of how I've been anyway. I just didn't necessarily see myself as a leader for it. Where do I go from here? Well, the first place I go to is the graduation stage to walk across and show that I have completed this ORGL program and developed myself as a leader. The next thing I want to do actually is to work with Tara Smith, my academic advisor. I have actually sat down or emailed and talked to her about meeting and seeing what it takes to do her job. So hopefully I'll be working with a lot of the professors that I've taken over this course. Tara Smith is the kind of leader that I have been looking for my entire college education. I had started at Texas A&M in 2016, I believe, and I was an accounting major. I got to my senior year and I was doing very well. However, I reached a class, Economics 309, that was taught by one specific person, and I was unable to get past it. It wasn't a language barrier. It wasn't anything like that. I didn't understand what he was asking from us, and he would not explain it. Since he was the only professor, I was deadlocked in my degree. It took me years for somebody to tell me about Tara. Well, Tara is the reason I am graduating, and Tara has helped a friend of mine find this program and recognize that she could get her degree, and then I'm passing on the baton. She passed it on to me, and then I'm passing on the baton to another friend who has recently enrolled in the ORGL program in order to succeed through you guys. Who I plan to be is Tara. I plan on being somebody who helps and walks and understands what the person needs that's talking to you, and being responsive and being there for them, and really being everything that she has been for my education.